It's St. Patrick's Day, and what better place to celebrate than Ireland itself? We're taking you to the heart of it all. Traveloo's senior editor, Gabe Saglie, is in Dublin and along the route of one of the largest St. Patrick's Day parades in the world. Gabe, how's it going out there?
Well, yeah, listen, you said it. Actually, the second largest St. Patrick's Day parade in the world, because New York does throw a really big one. So maybe number 2 in size, but I'd say number 1 in spirit because, boy, that energy is palpable. Let me show you. So if you've been to Dublin, I'm on O'Connell Street, very iconic street here in Dublin. Oh, there's Mickey and Minnie. Disney's actually got a presence in the parade this year. There's a big Disney connection to Ireland. Walt used to own a house in Cork, and a lot of the films from Star Wars to Disenchanted, of course, filmed across Ireland. But yeah, this is a major international mix of people. The parade started at high noon here in Dublin, and we'll go for about an hour and a half or 2, and then everybody just hangs out in the pubs the rest of the day.
Man, that's got to be amazing. What's the energy like in Dublin today, and how big is the crowd?
So it is palpable. So for the parade itself, you've got about 4,000 participants, and a lot of them from the U.S. You've got about a dozen different marching bands from different American high schools and universities. So a big U.S. contingency along the parade route, and then along the streets. I mean, I got to tell you, this is my 10th year covering this parade live here on the ground in Dublin, and I think this is as big a crowd as I've seen. We're estimating about 500,000 people lining this parade route, which is about 1.5 miles long. But that number could be even bigger than that because this seems like an especially large group of folks. Big international mix. Again, the Americans do love being part of this parade, but I've met a lot of Europeans, a lot of South Americans as well, and it just speaks to that sort of international appeal that Ireland has, especially on a week like this.
You know, interestingly, St. Patrick's Day festivities are relatively new in Ireland. What are some of the unique traditions there?
I think, yeah, you're right. I think 20 years ago, it was just a holiday. You were off that day. You got up in the morning, had to bring breakfast. You went to church. You wore some green, kind of a mellow day. But I think that the realization about 15, 20 years ago was that, hey, if you throw a big party, the Americans will travel to take part in it. So it has, in the last 15 years or so, become quite the international event here in Dublin. You see a lot of green. Interestingly, it's blue. Blue was the original color associated with St. Patrick, but it's all about the green now, and it's just a big social event. Again, once the parade is over, the pubs get filled, and this lasts into Sunday. So there are museum events, there are comedy shows, there are musical events throughout the course of the weekend as well. The climax, I'd say, definitely this parade, but it's a 5-day affair that will go all the way into the weekend.
Now, Gabe, you've been covering this for a while. What fills your heart with Ireland?
Yeah, listen, my 10th year covering this parade. I think the people is the best answer I can give you. If you've not been to Ireland, you've heard the rumor that this is a hospitable group, very social people. They love Americans, and on a week like this, you find out that is very much true. The people love the American visitor. When they find out you're from the States, they want to sit you down, they'll pour you a couple of pints, and they want to talk to you into the night. So it's the people is the best answer I can give you for that question, for sure.
I'm listening to the music, Gabe, and I'm dancing to it too, so it sounds great, man. I've been talking with Traveloo's senior editor, Gabe Saglie. Gabe, when the parade's over with, are you going to go to some of the pubs yourself?
Of course. I got to mingle with the people. I'm going to become one of them. But I'll have one for you. Okay, I'm going to have a pint for you.
I appreciate it. Thanks so much for joining us on Morning Blend.
All right, happy St. Patrick's Day.